we'll probably see Impact Man first. Should be the route that most people are taking.
Yeah, I think most people with the higher seeds in this tournament, or the better seeds, I should say, are all going Impact first. It's just me and a couple of others still doing Tundra first. Impact just too useful in this game.
Yeah, it really is. You have to get this tool so that way you can just fly across some of these screens. There's a bunch of strats throughout the game to allow you to move forward faster using Impact.
And right away, both players getting past the first punishing screen here, that drop. And, the second screen, though, pretty precise coiling. Sagehero having a little trouble here. Just not having any weapons other than the Buster in this stage, you do have to take sort of interesting looking routes to move quickly. And like a lot of this game, movement is precise.
Yeah, definitely pretty precise platforming, especially in the section coming up. Oh, you see Sage actually missed the rush jump, but Reabs got it.
Yep. Sage recovering nicely, though. He knew he didn't have it, and he just kind of kept going, didn't lose much more time. Little bits of speed gear here to dodge so many. Reabs still a screen ahead, dodging all the little brothers. And pretty soon they're going to be getting to the Pickman Digger. I still want to call it the Pain Crane. Reabs is going to open up with the final charge here. Get a little extra damage in. And the strat here, basically, you want to get inside that arm, just jump and unleash Turbo. Turbo is in-game in this game. It's valid. It's legal.
Yeah, definitely. It's a mappable control, so in the speedrun, it's allowed. And yeah, people use it to their advantage. Reabs actually missing the cycle he wanted there.
Sage also missing it. Sage having a little trouble staying on this platform. Don't fall. Reabs is skipping the rush drop in the next room because I don't know if he picked up a large drop earlier or if it was just from not using it in the previous room. He was already filled up.
Yeah, I didn't exactly catch it myself.
Yep, you do need rush for this last room that Reabs just got through, and Sage is in. Obviously, using rush coil here to basically skip cycles, getting through the vertical climb that much faster. And they're going into Impact Man now. Impact Man, much like every other Robot Master in this game, at about half health, we'll just call it that for now, activates one of his gears. And Impact Man and Block Man, their power gears introduce an entire new phase that you have to go through. It wastes about 20 seconds each, so we're looking for Reabs to skip that. He's looking good.
Yeah, he picked up the kill.
You need to do a precise amount of damage, and then both of them using the power gear with the Buster to fire that kind of charge combo shot. Both shots together dealing a total of about 8 damage. Knocking out Impact Man, knocking out lots of bosses with that thing. No power gear here today for Impact, at least at this time. The fun part of this game is with refights, you get to do these tricks twice. What can you tell us about Tundra Man Stage?
Well, it's cold. I can tell you that. But yeah, these
you're not wrong.
Yeah, it's got some nice tight platforming jumps. Little few people use speed gear to get under that guy. As you saw, Sagehero did the little platform guy with the sledgehammer. Not sure.
Yeah, he has a cool name. I forget what it is. It's like Knock something.
Couple of nice little rush jumps or rush coil jumps, and then a few impact strats here and there, and then wind physics or the
the screen that yeah, wind pushing you on these screens. There's a couple of screens where the wind is pushing you back. Actually, yeah, there are a couple of those, but the outdoor ones you're generally pushed forward. Ooh, Reabs. I guess that is the strat. It just looks scary. Stage Hero wanting nothing to do with a slide into an impact over open air. Sage is going to get the 300 bolts in the bottom left corner of that room. I didn't see if Reabs got them.
Yeah, he did. He did.
So I'm assuming they're going to go shopping eventually for W tanks. Sage is having some trouble here with the Mammoth. This game, kind of like Mega Man X8 of all things, if you've played that one, the charge shot will kind of crack the shell on shielded enemies like Mets or Joes, giving you an opening to fire more shots. It's the strat there for the Mammoth. Sage not able to take it out in the first cycle, just loses a little bit of time there. Not that much, though. It was a good recovery. Reabs going through this vertical room from hell and going into the last stretch of the stage. It's another win screen, and this screen looks not terrible. It kind of is terrible. More than anything, it's just punishing. And it's a very easy spot to sort of just miss one jump and you are back on the screen right after the Mammoth.
Yeah, it's pretty harsh. If you take a death here, you lose probably about half a minute at least.
Yep. So Tundra Man, again, with the sort of, we don't want to see that speed gear getting activated. It doesn't waste nearly as much time as Impact would if it did get activated, but there's about probably 2 or 3 seconds where he cannot be injured while it's being activated, so might as well save that time. The Sage now is going to have to kill him after it gets activated. There you go.
Yeah, he actually missed the cycle before the speed gear activation, so I believe Reabs got it though.
Yeah, Reabs nailed it. So, like, not that much time, but Reabs now into Torchman stage.
Yeah, right on. Another stage using Impact to get across some screens, of course, and then big flame walls in this stage here to they can trip you up if you're not quick enough.
Oh boy, got one bounce back there, but he's still ahead of the Firewall of Destiny. There'll be 3 of those as the stage goes on.
Yeah.
So this stage has a couple of little gimmicks with the stuff. Reabs, I think he got the drop there with Impact. So one other theme you're going to see as this game goes along, runners, if they see a drop, they are very likely to switch to Impact no matter what weapon they currently have equipped, just to kind of get more weapon energy to Impact. Sage Hero also getting a drop on that screen, a lucky drop. Just the more Impact you have, if you know how to use it, it's very easy to think you know how to use it and end up in a bad spot. But if you know how to use it, you're saving that much more time. So much that using these W tanks are actually worth it. In Torchman stage specifically, because you do use 3 power gear Tundras early on in the stage, it's actually that much more useful to be able to have an excuse to pull out a W tank so you can still have it for the Robot Master here, because that is the weakness.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to have extra for the boss because the weakness, like you said, Stage Hero making it across this pretty tight jump there. Reabs making his way into Torchman now, so we'll see how his fight goes. When Tundra does have to go into power gear, I believe it's not skippable. Oh, just kidding.
Yeah, you can get, I believe, it's either 1 or 2 hits that you can get without power gear, and you'll still take out Torchman. So if you're not feeling too comfortable, it's very easy to hit him with the uncharged Tundra while he's crossing the screen here in this phase. The Sage here.
Yeah, Sage actually missed one of his Tundras because Torch did go to power gear for him, so it took Torch's iframes took one of the Tundra shots.
So Reabs now in the Blast Man adventure. Feel the explosion. coiling over that stage. I haven't seen that strat yet. That looks beautiful. Uses a little decent amount of impact, but saves a lot of time not having to navigate everything on the floor. This screen's kind of nice because you see an impact into a torch just to take out all of these explosive boxes and immediately using another W tank. That's the theme of the run. Just give me more impact.
Right on, gotta go fast.
Twin Thriller roller coasters, and a really annoying mini boss if you don't know what to do with it. And if you do know what to do with it, well, you saw how free it was. So the rest of this stage, just, you know, this is the theme. Don't end up over a pit of exploding boxes when it goes off. Reabs using the rush coil strat. Very easy to bonk there, so good job, Reabs. And this last screen, vertical screen coming up, you're going to see him explode the boxes that are up above to make room for rush coil to get up. So now there's a total of 4 coils in this room. Those first 2 are really tight, but saves quite a decent chunk of time there. Anytime you don't have to climb a ladder in this game, it's a good idea. And here's Blast Man. Opening the fight with a Power Tundra just to kind of get the free hit in while going into some Power Buster combos. You want to turn off the power gear during some of them to make sure the gear doesn't burn out. That's a limited resource. You don't want it to overheat. And just, again, getting rid of Blast Man before the power gear phase begins. Saving just a little chunk of time, and honestly, it's just fast anyway.
And Sage actually doing the same exact fight as Reabs.
I love it.
Very clean. Very clean.
And yes, there was a little speed gear at the end of that fight, just to make sure Blast Man lands in time. So, you're right, Reabs is in bounce 5th. So no blocks for the frogs.
Right on, yeah. I think, I want to say he uses, maybe overcharged power, or not overcharged, just regular power buster to fight the frogs, along with maybe impact and flame torch. I know he uses flame torch, or I feel like I know he uses flame torch. That's what I would.
So we're gonna follow Reabs because he's leading right now. As we have the route divergence here. Bounce Man stage is it's a mess. That's, I think, the polite way of saying it. There's a lot of these bouncy balls, a lot of rooms where you have to kind of snake through vertical passages. Oh my goodness, this final charge. And just, you want to use Rush Jet. That's why you're going here 5th. You get Rush Jet after your first 4 robots are down. And it's just a combination of impact and rush everywhere. I've never seen Anti-Eddie go to the left. That was hilarious. Reabs is making this stage look easy, and I love it. Sagehero are having a decent Blockman stage. So he's keeping up the pace, certainly. Reabs, again, they're skipping basically 2/3 of that last room. Now, this frog's going to be interesting because there's no solid ground to sort of unleash the turbo on. Looked like he was getting ready to make use of some power blast if he needed to get some extra damage on the Pump Master. Reabs that is a nice W tank grab. That's probably the most time-consuming W tank to grab in this run. And that did not take long.
Yeah, it makes it look easy, for sure. Rush coil up, rush jet across. Takes hardly any time for Reabs, as he's finding his way inside the Bounce Man fight. Now this fight here should just be 3 impacts, or I believe maybe 2 impacts, 2 overcharge.
I think it's 1 combo and then 2 impacts. Just like that. So sagehero, this is going to be the spoiler for when Reabs gets here for the strats discussion. Blockman's the other robot master with a power gear phase that wastes a ton of time, and there's a very precise quick kill here. By very precise, I mean there's like 5 variants of it. And that's one of them.
Nice. Yeah, Sage making it look easy as well.
The trick there as Reabs goes shopping, you want to do enough damage to Blockman so that those it's timed so he arrives inside that explosion on the right-hand wall after his iframes wear out, and when you were about ready to fire that final charge. It takes, I want to say, somewhere between like 6 and 8 seconds to get a final charge together. It might be a little more than that. So it's timed properly so you can fire that final charge and do all the rest of the damage of the fight right there. sagehero buying some beats for safety.
Now, see, that was pretty interesting because, I don't think we touched on the 20% discount on weekends, but I saw that Reabs does not have the discount active, so it must be still Thursday where he's at, maybe? I don't know.
I still show Friday here on the East Coast, but I don't think there's a specific rule against changing your system time.
I believe
discounts on weekends and Wednesdays for consumables.
Yeah, I think it's allowed to change the time, is from what I understand. But yeah, Stage actually had it active because I saw his prices were at 80 for shop items, and Reabs did not, as his were at 100. I don't think that's going to play too much of a difference, to be honest, but yeah, we'll see.
Reabs, meanwhile, probably got through one of the more technical halves of a stage in the game in Fuseman. And you're seeing a lot of impacting through these lasers, a lot of just precise everything. And Bounce, yes, destroys these little electrical transmitters, for lack of a better phrase. Not even taking out the Stomper, disrespecting it. Reabs having a little trouble here at the end of the stage in these just sort of crawling laser rooms. Is he going to go for the rush jet jump? Is he just going to use speed gear there? Speed gear, when it's active, Mega Man normally moves at about half speed RTA. So you don't want it active very long, but certainly using it in little bursts like that, especially in a race, not a bad idea. So Fuseman, lots of bounce balls all over the screen. That's what you want to see to open things up. And then a couple of power gear shots. It's ridiculous how some of these quick kills just tear up bosses.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, man, I couldn't do that, or at least as of right now, I couldn't.
I've tried and failed to do that a lot of times. Rush coil into rush jet jump from Sage. Very nice, kind of skipping a little bit of that section. Use the pause buffer strat to do it, but who cares? Sage is about to get to his 6th Robot Master in Bounce Man. Reabs, meanwhile, finally getting into Bounce Man. You might have seen this on Sage's side earlier. The theme, every Sage's theme is really impact, 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 but you're going to see a lot of Torch as well here, and of course, Blast doing its dark work against the constructed blocks here. Go figure, the bombs work against the construction. You might have played this Mega Man game before.
Yeah, and nice fight from sagehero against Rubberman there. Bounce Man.
Either works. I think it's Rubber Man in Japan. Impact Man is Pile Man in Japan.
That's right. That's right. I think in all regions, the weapon that Impact gives is called Pile Driver. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But that comes from the Japanese theme, of course.
Yeah. Reabs showing off why Blockman, the Demo Man, is done after Rush Jet. Those vertical rooms with falling blocks, they're really just a mess to navigate. And if you have Jet, that much easier. Sage is actually an Acid Man 7th, so preview of what Reabs is going to do next over there. Reabs using a little more fire here. This is another room with the block puzzles. We saw it the first time, but we didn't talk about it. Bombs, any level, powered or unpowered, will just destroy those mazes in one shot. You actually get an achievement for it. So just using that, getting through that section that much faster. Last vertical room. So Reabs now is going to have to match Sage's execution of the quick kill. I don't know if he's going to have a different quick kill setup, given his different assortment of weapons. Probably not really.
I wouldn't imagine. I mean, by the time like Reabs has been through an extra stage by the time he's been here to Black Man, so. Oh,
he missed something somewhere along the way. Welcome to the Golem. So this is a whole and separate life meter. Reabs is doing about what you want to do. It takes 3 power blasts or a lot of torch. Actually, is another very effective weapon. Generally, at this point in the stage, you don't have that much blast left. So torch in Blockman stage itself, the secondary backup weapon of choice there. The Golem has no iframes either, so go ahead and buster it if you can.
I was gonna say, how much time do you think that added on just to get that Golem?
It's in the kind of 15 to 20 second range, sometimes longer. It all depends on how well you can kill the Golem. Sage on Acid Man here, so you want to open this with Power Block, then go straight into a Buster combo, another Buster combo, and then finish it up with more blocks. Very nice. The stage itself, saw Reabs kind of already open it up a little bit. Bounce, just effective because these sort of scrubbing enemies, they move slowly, but they move faster when you get up close to them. And this is your water physics stage.
Yeah, indeed, and I believe it's Reabs' actual 8th Robot Master. Sagehero joins him in his 8th Fuse Man.
Indeed.
I'd say Fuse Man stage probably goes a little bit faster, but also Reabs is about halfway through the stage at this point, or a little bit more than half. Well,
Fuse might be a little shorter, but Fuse also has like a lot of stuff going on. Acid, I feel like there's less stuff going on, so even if there's more ground to cover, I don't know. I'd have to pull up the top tier splits and find out. Well, Sage is using his W tank kind of early here in Fuse. Just get it back. Reabs is using a W tank here to be able to impact over this kind of last long horizontal stretch that's not underwater. And this red water, the movement is very fast under it. Whew. This last section, really every section of this, if you're paying attention, there are just spikes everywhere. This last section actually has an upwards water current. Very easy to jump into those spikes on the ceiling. But not a problem for Reabs as he goes through the last 2 arcs. We'll see if he can replicate what Sagehero did a moment ago.
Yeah, he's making his boss room first at 2340. Sage still in the last quarter of his stage, has one more vertical section coming up before he gets to his boss room.
So Reabs is done with 8 robots. 2356 it looked like was the last hit on number 8. Sage, though, actually really close to Fuse Man. I guess you were correct. Fuse Man stage is that much shorter. And Sagehero, in the chat for my race, actually on Wednesday night, said a 2.5 minute lead is nothing in this game. So I'm just going to throw that out there for him. Maybe it'll work for him, maybe it won't.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, these guys are pretty even. Reabs does make it the Wily Castle first.
Yeah, both of them making it look easy, though. Reabs' only error on that quick kill, but Sage is keeping up. How do you like the Gear Fortress?
You know, I'd probably have to say this is one of my more favorite stages to speedrun in Mega Man games. As the impact over all the pits and places where you can use time, it just feels good when you get it right.
There are a lot of drops out in the open on the stage too to keep you filled up on impact. Reabs taking a interesting route here because Reabs used his last W tank a little bit earlier. Like you said, you just need to make sure you tag all these refills and you should be okay.
Yeah, Sage actually sitting on 2 extras after this one that he just used, so Sage shouldn't run into many problems. Don't let me curse him. Commentator's curse is real, but he shouldn't run into many problems as far as weapons tanks goes. Reabs, on the other hand, I wouldn't think he would. Like you were saying, there's plenty of drops everywhere.
Reabs got all the drops he needed on the last screen, and is now on the vertical climb.
Yep.
Fun little screen that if you don't make it up on the first try from those falling platforms, it's not good. Sagehero got the beat earlier.
And it comes into play.
Losing a little time still from having to be rescued, but certainly less time than if he fell in all the way. So if you're paying attention, you will see the Mega Man 1 Yellow Devil pattern on the right side of your screen. Getting the 4 bombs in early, getting another. I'm not sure I saw the 4th one. That's not that bad, honestly. They should still finish off the Easy Devil. You can kill it before this sort of fall across the screen cycle begins. We'll see if Sagehero is able to pick up those. What is that going to amount to? 5 seconds?
Yeah, something like that, I believe.
Reabs is not going to complain about that in a race.
Yeah, the big issue is if they miss that cycle, then you could be in for some Yellow Devil to go back into the the transforming cycle.
There is a chance you get the eye opening up to do 1 more hit of damage after they fall down, but it's somewhat RNG. So why even risk it? And besides, if you're waiting that long to get your last hit, you've already lost time over killing him faster anyway. So both runners now in Wily 2, another stage that uses a lot of weapons. This stage, probably one of the 1 or 2 stages in the game where pits and instant death aren't really a concern. This stage is going to chip away at your health and see what happens. A lot of flame, a lot of torch, I guess, a lot of blasts, and a lot of impact, as always, here for this stage. My favorite thing, honestly, about these Wily stages is that you really do get to see a decent amount of Mega Man's arsenal as everything goes along.
Well, that is unless, of course, you're Kami-Zen and the Cheetah's Buster-only stuff for everything, but that's a different story.
Yeah, the Buster in this game is strong.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea how Buster only, no gears. That's insane.
And no gear I'm not going to sign up for, but Buster with gears, sure. Reabs impacting over the last room, getting up to Mauverine, Q9's newer, graphically intense cousin. You want to bounce open the shell, and then there's a whole lot of options for what to use on the inside. Impact is certainly one of them.
Yeah, usually I see Impact or Power Gear Buster.
And it looks like Reabs ran out of Impact, didn't quite do what he wanted to. But yeah, I guess Tundra will do that last hit point of damage from anywhere on the screen.
I was going to say, Tundra's
Don't worry about
new.
aiming.
Tundra's new to me on that. Nice.
There are a few robot masters. Are Mauverine and Dr. Wily's capsule robot masters? You know what I'm talking about, though.
Bosses.
Tundra will do 1 point of damage to a lot of bosses. So certainly, if you don't want to worry about aiming, Tundra is an option. Sage Heroes fight here as Reabs gets through the first screen of refights. Just the one platforming section. Nice Marine kill from Sage. The screen on your right, this looks familiar if you like your Mega Man games. We have another 8 Robot Masters to kill here, or at least the same 8.
Oh yeah, the refights, gotta love them.
And like I was saying earlier, you get to do these quick kills twice. So those 20 seconds that you have to save for skipping the phase, it's 40 seconds of the run each. Reabs successfully saving them here for impact.
Right on, yeah. Sage coming to join him in the refight, so he's actually not very far behind. Just one. These guys have got a 1 Robot Master gap into them.
Yeah, this is going very well, I would think, for Sage at this point. Reabs having a little trouble here, and has the Buster out instead of Impact. Is he out of Impact?
I don't think he is. I think he just missed his shot. He could possibly be out of Impact though.
I don't think we saw the Power Gear phase for Sage Hero, so you saved the time there, and Reabs just had a really hard time with bounce. But is nonetheless up 2 robots to 1. Sage is working on Acid. They're both working on Acid Man. Sage just a couple of seconds ahead on the Acid kill itself as far as just count of robots, and Sage is going to put it back on pace. Reabs, though, is going to go to block now. Reabs had to fight the Golem earlier, so attempt 2 at the quick kill. Let's hope he gets it.
He does this time.
There we go. Sage done with bounce, going to Torch. Torch should be pretty free. Reabs going into Fuse. So again, one of the more complicated quick kills in this game. And Torch, poor Torch man. Vulnerable to the weapon that hits the entire screen, so...
Yeah, but if you run out of that weapon, that fight can get pretty tricky.
I think Reabs is still up a Robot Master, but it's not a full entry of the teleporter. And we start getting into which one's faster and which one's slower! Sage, you should have gotten the refill! Blast, definitely one of the more damaging Robot Masters in this run. There is an E-Tank you could kind of lose a little bit of time to get in Tundra. Most runners don't get it. Most runners don't need it, but just the easiest E-Tank to get. So there's no real E-Tanks, is I guess the end of this winding set of sentences. Sage getting hit, which loses the Power Gear charge. Going back to Torch there, Blast Man's actual weakness. Reabs, I believe, is doing Blast last, so Sage is now down 3 robots.
Very costly death there, unfortunately, for Sage Hero.
Yeah, that's not to say that Reabs can't have trouble against the Wily machine itself in the next final stage, but Sage certainly looking for some help. Tundra Man getting again into that speed gear phase. So Sage plays catch up. Reabs here in Wily 4. It's another sort of giant elevator room akin to Impact Man stage. You need to get speed gear going to make this first cycle. And from here it's just going to be platforming to try and get as far ahead and skip as many of these as he can to save just, a few seconds for each platform he gets past. Especially with the giant fall in the end, he needs to beat this one. There we go, very nice. Sage working on the Blockman Quick Kill Part 2. Nailed it. Reabs, though, onto Wily Machine.
Yeah, I'd say Sage is probably a solid 30 seconds to a minute behind at this point because of the death.
Certainly quite a bit, and there goes phase 1 of Wily Machine. Reabs, very nice kill. Very nice kill. Using Power Gear and Acid will make the Acid Barrier do a lot of damage as it spawns. That's the fastest way to take out really both phases of Wily. Blast is also good. A lot of people know that Fuse is a good choice against the Capsule as well. Reabs just needs to be a little careful here, and that is going to do it. Very nice.
Get your GGs in chat for Reabs taking first. Official SRL time of 35 minutes and 28 seconds.
Very nice. What did I say earlier? He had a 34, I believe, on the leaderboard. So getting a mid-35, missing that Blockman kill. And really just whatever other just nonsense happens along the way. Very nice, very strong showing from Reabs here, getting into the finals of the winner's bracket of the tournaments. So congrats to Reabs. Sage here trying to wrap up the Wily Machine. Yeah, Sage's PB, by the way, I think we looked at this earlier, is listed as a 37-13. Sage with a lot of time here to at least lock down a PB.
Yeah, definitely so. He's on his way. Just one or two more.
Oh, he has an M-Tank to throw at this. Very nice. And that is that.
Nice. Yeah. Sage finishing second. Official SRL time of 36:40. And it doesn't say that's his race PB, but I want to assume it is.
And that's true. It's not showing. Well, it's because our goal is tournament match, not any % no out of bounds, but that's okay.
Okay.
We'll fix that. Very nice time from both runners. Reabs fighting his way through to get into the winners final. Sage dropping into very late in the losers bracket, but saves a minute. Well, not quite a minute on his time here, maybe half a minute. Can't be too upset about that, especially when you think about it. Sage really just has that blast man death. That's probably a good 20 seconds. Sage is getting into that 35 range, and that is enough to play with the big boys. So look out for Sage. I don't think he's leaving this tournament just yet.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah, Sage is going to be a force to be reckoned with. I mean, I think this is the second time I commentated and he got a PB, so that's pretty neat. Pretty good stuff to him.
Let's see if we can get either of them, honestly, in here for the interview. Reabs is maybe going to be here soon. Sage mentioning here that at some point this run was like between 15 seconds over PB and 25 seconds under, and this is what, like a 30-40 second PB, so this is very nice.
And we welcome
hello
Reabs to the chat. What's up, Reabs? How's it going? GG's, man. Congrats on
Thank
the
you.
Sage is here.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, congratulations on the PB, Sage.
Thank you. That was an interesting PB. Let's say that.
So you're in my world now, where your PB has a couple of things you'd rather not have, but wow, both of you, that was a really nice race.
Beats makes an appearance in my PB. Let's leave it at that.
That's awesome.
All right.
I saw it like a ton of bolts when I went to the shop, so I was just like, I'll just buy a beat real quick in case I fall in a pit, and I did.
Calculated.
Yeah, definitely. I missed
whatever
the pit,
works,
but
man.
I saw the beat.
Oh, okay. So I didn't expect. I'm actually happy I kept it that close. I'm happy I PB'd. I didn't expect it to be all that close. So I'm pretty happy with the way I played at the end of the day. I wish I didn't die in refights. It's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, I think that's probably what ended up costing me the match, because at that point before that, you and Reabs were both one Robot Master apart in the league fight. So.
Yeah, he might have still beat me. I mean, I didn't have a very good Wily either, so.
Still, it's a strong showing. I like it. I mean, you take out the beat, you take out the death. We might be kind of flirting with 35, 59.
Yeah. My sum of best is a 34 now, so like that should be my goal, is to get 35s now. But
especially with games under an hour, I know everybody who's been speedrunning long enough has heard something along the lines of, as long as your sum of best is relatively accurate, if you're like a minute below your PB, something's coming. So we're looking forward to it.
Yep. So let's see where this puts us.
This puts you in losers bracket round 4, waiting for either Igor, myself, Venoxus, or Ine5MK.
Oh Jesus, could be anyone.
Yeah, you got a lot of possible opponents here.
Well,
okay.
let's be honest. I'm probably not one of them. I'll try.
Don't sell yourself short.
Don't count yourself out yet.
I might still get a 39. Oh, and I forgot this because Chelny mentioned this in chat as we were kind of getting everybody together and saying hello. You've PB'd in every race so far?
Yes, every race.
You just need to have more tournament races.
Yeah, that's an exciting superpower.
It's going to get harder and harder. I mean, the first time it was like a minute. This time it was only 8 seconds. But
still,
I'm excited. Really, this should have been Chelny versus Reabs, and I raced Chelny on the right day is what happened. But
Chelny will have his chance.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Actually, we may end up, if I keep winning in the losers match, I have a feeling he's gonna get another shot at me.
The way things shape up, Chelny, assuming Chelny keeps winning, Chelny has to win 2 matches. And you would need to win 1, and then you would immediately be up agast each other because there just wouldn't be enough people left in losers bracket.
Oh boy, yeah. I've seen his practice regimen, and I think it's about a 5-hour warm-up / practice regimen daily, or semi-daily.
Chelny is insane, and we love him.
Yep. Oh, okay. Well, GG to Reabs. Did everything go well with your run? Your time was pretty good.
I think block transformed. That was like the biggest mistake.
Yeah.
I actually block transformed in my PB too, so
gotcha.
Shouldn't have actually been that bad, but it was just like a ton of other tiny stuff.
Gotcha.
But nothing. I didn't like fall in a pit or anything.
Gotcha. I had a huge golden block, but just gave away time. Gave away a lot of time in impact. I missed the big room. The Mega Buster went over the cone guy.
You actually both missed.
Oh yeah, I missed it too.
Gotcha.
I forgot about that. I don't know what happened. In mine, I just walked off the platform or something. I'm not sure what happened. So I got hit, bounced off of Rush Coil, and then just didn't jump again. I actually thought I was gonna fall in the pit. Luckily, there was one of the moving platforms was right below me.
Nice.
So Reabs, yeah, congrats on making your way here to winners bracket final. You either catch Mumu or our top seed. Let me get this right. Lean in here. Carter Freak. I was about to say Crater Freak. I'm like, no, I don't think that's what my eyes are actually telling me. I'm getting too old for this.
Crater Freak. Oh God.
It is Carter.
You guys all put Chelny Frog in chat, right? When we were in bounce. That's what's important at the end of the day.
Chelny himself didn't put Chelny Frog in chat.
Oh,
there was
I have to
Chelny
question
Frog,
Chelny's
though.
dedication.
Well, my goal coming into this, I wanted to keep it within a minute, and it was pretty close to a minute. It was a minute and 10 seconds. So, I going up against a guy whose PB is better than my sum of best is kind of, you're just crossing your fingers and hoping to have
rough.
a bad day. Yeah.
You gave him a run for his money.
Yeah, actually, at the end, I was like, man, if he's on like a sick PB pace right now, I might be in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how good your sum of best was, so.
It's now a 34.57, but that's just now. I had like several gold splits.
Like you said though, just next time get that jump without beat. Just get that blast refight down and
yeah,
easy video game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who came out to watch me. Sorry I didn't win.
It's all right.
Yeah, it was fun. Glad we could
race. It was a fun show.
Yeah, and if you guys, I don't know if this is plugged during the stream, but I always say this. If you guys want to join us, MegaManLeaderboards.net, we have a Discord, and you can ask whatever questions you want.
Except don't ask me nothing. Anything. So.
Yeah, just hop in, start playing really any Mega Man game.
You can ask me a little bit about Mega Man 2, but not this game. But yeah, no. Hey, shout outs to you guys. You guys did awesome. Great race, great race. Sage, you guys are awesome. Thanks, Mr. Cab, for commentating. Thanks to Speed Gaming.
Thank you for commentating, and yes, thanks Speed Gaming. Thanks to everybody in tech behind the scenes.
Definitely so. Definitely so. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here.
I do want to throw out there our next Mega Man 11 tournament race is scheduled for tomorrow. Well, I guess depending on where you are in the world, it might be today. It is in 16 hours. So if you're on the East Coast of the U.S., that's 4 p.m. on Saturday, February 16th. Look out for Venoxus and Ine MK. That is one of the races that will filter towards finding out who Sage Hero gets to play next. And of course, follow Speed Gaming, follow the rest of this. This is Speed Gaming 6, and yes, there's 2 through 5. One doesn't have a number on the end. Follow those channels as well. I'm sure one of them is about to get a host with one of the many, many speedrun and randomizer type tournaments that are going on out there. So, yeah, have a good night, everybody, and go fast.
Take care.
Bye, all.
See y'all. Thanks for watching. Later, y'all.